My husband was distant with me. After pleading and fighting with him, I found out what he's hiding from me. My husband forgot our wedding anniversary, which started this saga. I'm not surprised. I really feel like he's checked out. We've been married 3 years today, together 6. It's halfway through the day, and he hasn't acknowledged it at all. I bought us cupcakes and I'm going to stop for flowers and a card on the way home. I'm sure he's going to come home with nothing, act shocked and apologize, or just brush it off and go to his phone. We've had a dead bedroom since we got married. I can't remember the last time he complimented me unsolicited, calling me hot, sexy, or beautiful, but he can like the photos of IG models in bikinis. 2 years ago I got dressed up in lingerie. I felt insecure because I had put on some weight, but I felt sexy in it. He came upstairs, saw me, and said he was hungry and went downstairs to eat dinner. He left me upstairs for an hour. After he finished eating, he just stayed there. We could go weeks without sex if I didn't push for us to do it, or fucking ask permission to have sex that night. He doesn't initiate meaningful touch and affection with me anymore. He will shower affection on our pets, including in front of me, but can barely stand to touch me, it feels like. He works ridiculous hours, and even though I asked him not to pick up a second job when his hours changed because long working hours were impacting our time together and our intimacy, he went out and got another job. We went out for my birthday this weekend. After encouraging me to have another drink, he asked me if I'd be willing to drive us home. He was tired because he chose to go on a sunrise hike that morning and ended up not sleeping for a full 24 hours. I didn't drive back. I can't remember the last time he bought me flowers for an occasion or just because. He used to leave for work in the morning by giving me a kiss or tucking me back into bed. Now he just leaves without a word. We have been dealing with MFI for 2 years because he chose to take anabolic steroids for years, which made him nearly sterile. He lied to me about steroid use multiple times. He has now been off them for some time, and his counts are improving. I am pausing IVF right now. He didn't tell me about his immigration status and the fact he had been previously married until a year and a half into our relationship. He complains about the same things all the time, and when I offer solutions, he doesn't listen. I'll often also say something, and later he'll parrot it back like he came up with it myself. This is especially true of his medical issues that he refuses to follow up on. We're doing couples counseling. I gave it as an ultimatum in March, after he threatened to divorce me for a second time since we've been married. I made it his responsibility to follow up on the counselors and identify providers. He did, and then never booked anything. It wasn't until 3 weeks ago when I asked him about it that he said, honestly, I haven't even thought about that. I also love the jokes, i.e., he says something that makes me upset or hurts my feelings, and then says, relax babe, I was joking. He used to be a thoughtful gift giver. He used to be affectionate. He used to look at me like I had stars in his eyes. I've begged for more intimacy, more touch, more affection, more sex. I feel like I am coercing him into sex now, and that he doesn't even want to do it with me. He just does it with me to get me off his back. I do 90% of the housework, all of the finances, and all of the vet care for our pets. I recently told him I wanted him to step up more, and he told me that he'll do stuff, I just need to tell him. I told him, I do things that I see need to be done. Me having to tell you what to do does not alleviate the stress off of me. He stepped up for one day. My mental health is in shambles. I think I'm a fat, worthless piece of shit. I'm not. I'm a little overweight, but I work out regularly and I'm curvy. My depression and anxiety has amplified to levels where it is impacting my day-to-day life. I'm sorry for this dump. I'm just tired of all of this. I'm realizing today how little I matter. I think I've finally checked out. I'm done initiating, done babying him, done managing him, done mothering him. Yesterday was our 3-year anniversary, which was celebrated with a huge fight. Today, I confronted him about his social media activities. We've had a dead bedroom for 3 years, and I practically have to claw affection out of him. He's been liking half-naked thirst trap photos of women for the past 2 years of our marriage. These are women that are insanely fit, have huge tits, and post pictures with their ass hanging out. He has also lied to me in the past about things like his previous marriage status and his anabolic steroid use. I confronted him twice about the steroids, and he denied it up and down. Only later did I find out I was right. I told him today I wanted to see who he is messaging on social media, and he refused. At one point, he called me crazy. He said if I can't trust him, we're over. I told him I don't trust him. He absolutely, steadfastly refused to let me see his phone. I told him if he does not show me, that tells me he has something to hide. He tried to tell me he liked the girl's photos, by accident. And the only one he actually did was liking the photos of an OnlyFans creator. He also used the excuse that other girls have made him do that before and it made their relationships go to shit, and that he has never asked me to see my phone before. I said the reason he has never asked to see what's on my phone is because I've never given him a reason to question my loyalty. He just left with his wallet and an overnight bag. I don't know where he's going, and I don't give a fuck where he's going. I felt so guilty confronting him because he came in the door excited to see me, but I'm fucking tired. Even if he came home and showed me his phone, I know I can't trust what I find on it because he probably deleted it. Additional information from OOP. He came home. It turned into the nastiest fight of our marriage. He's basically said he wants a divorce. He doubled down to his usual argument of, I'm the fucking worst. I can't ever do anything right. He says I always do everything right, and he's always wrong. So I pointed out his years of stonewalling me and emotional abuse, and it set him off. He told me to shut up. I told him fuck you. I slammed a door really hard. I admit that wasn't okay. He yelled that I need help, like psychiatric help. I'm now in the bedroom, and he's in the living room. I hate my life. Relevant comments. Overrated news 0423. Stick to your guns. 3 years with no intimacy isn't a marriage. Sounds like he married you for other convenient reasons. OP. I know he's dealt with low T issues since stopping the steroids, but it doesn't mean we can't be affectionate in other ways. But I have to beg for sex, or any kind of meaningful affection. We can go weeks without doing it. Yep. Low T doesn't prevent you from cuddling, kissing, touching, any non-sexual contact. Yes, it impacts sex, but I have been begging for other types of intimacy for years, and I've been rebuffed. Also, he hasn't gone to follow up on his suspected low T issues when his libido didn't come back after stopping steroids. He's lying to me. Update number 1. We ended up going on the weekend trip together. We went on a long hike and a good time. We took photos together. We came home. I feel empty and broken. He's now keeping his phone face down at the house. When I asked him if maybe he could post a photo of us from our trip on his IG, he said he would. 2 days later, and nothing, even though he's been scrolling away on IG daily. I asked him last night, and he gave me a, "I will babe," without looking at me. There's no evidence of me on his IG since 2019, but he does have me all over his FB. One of the girls I called him out on is following and liking her sexy pictures has suddenly gone private on her social media. She's also following my husband, and has over 20K followers. She lives several states away according to her posts. I am so fucking pathetic. I love him, and I'm so desperate to rebuild any feeling of trust or love we had at the beginning of our relationship and our marriage. I feel like I am literally going crazy. This is all that I can think about every day. I had nightmares last night that he left me for that girl. There's times that he shows genuine affection, like he was excited to hold my hand going into the store the other day, and when he took care of me the other day when I was sick, but I still have this pit in the bottom of my stomach that something is wrong. Yet here I am still. I wish he felt the drive to have his hands all over me, that he couldn't keep his hands off me, that he still got me flowers unsolicited, that he commented on Snapchat photos that I sent him with enthusiasm over how beautiful I was, that he sees sexy photos of me that I send him and runs to the bedroom. I'm met with lukewarm enthusiasm or completely ignoring me. I'm also his sponsor for immigration. We had a genuine dating relationship and got married for genuine reasons. I feel guilty if I'm the reason he is deported. I am trying so hard to make this work, and I feel like he just doesn't care. I didn't leave him in March when he threatened to divorce me again, and he didn't give a shit about my ultimatum of couples counseling or I'm leaving. He didn't care for months. He doesn't care to post me on his social media. All I want to do is starve myself, so I can be as thin as those girls he likes on social media. Fix my face so I look as perfect as them. Get my boobs done like theirs. Shut off my emotions and just not feel anything anymore. Know the fucking truth, so I'm literally not driving myself crazy anymore. I feel like he stopped loving me or caring about my needs a very long time ago, and I don't know why he's still with me if he doesn't want to put any effort in. I know you all are going to be angry at me and think I am pathetic. I feel the same towards myself. Update number 2. I posted earlier today and got rightfully roasted. I backpedaled on my original post. Went on vacation together this past weekend. Realized nothing changed after. I also shared that I am currently sponsoring him for immigration, and we are at the point of getting his waiver processed. I had a lot of self-pitying bullshit in that post too. Wishing I was hot enough like those IG models, because maybe he'd want me then. I literally spent most of today on the cusp of a panic attack. I deleted my update from earlier today because I just couldn't handle all the comments that came in, especially how quickly they came in. I was not mentally in a good place. I really appreciate everyone who was kind and supportive, and also those who told me, "Girl, WTF are you doing?" I was weak for deleting the post, but I really appreciated the quick outpouring of support and advice. Something in my gut this afternoon told me to Google him. I found a lawsuit against him from earlier this year because a debt went to collections. It was not a small amount. I confronted him about it, and it turned into a whole BS thing. I signed up for a fucking legal website account so I could view all the docs and print them. He tried to tell me he didn't want to stress me out, which is why he didn't tell me. Y'all, he hired a fucking attorney behind my back and admitted he got his second job so he could pay off the debt so I wouldn't know. I almost lost my fucking mind. I think I grew a little bit of a spine today. When he tried to justify, I shut him down. When I used the words "lied to me," he corrected me and said he technically didn't lie, he just didn't tell me. When he threw out a suicide threat, I ignored it. When he told me he was done and threatened divorce again, I asked him if I should take him seriously this time, and he told me to do what I want. I confronted him about the IG stuff again, which pissed him off. I pointed out one of the models he is following suddenly turned her account private right after I confronted him last week. Also pointed out again how low T doesn't make someone like only thirst trap photos, yet ignore his wife. Pointed out how he likes their ass photos, but ignored any sexy photos I sent him. Told him I can count on my hands how many times we've had sex this year, and that I initiated every fucking time. Couldn't handle it, so he left on his bike with an overnight bag. Fuck off. He just drove back for whatever reason. I heard his stupid bike revving in the parking lot. Maybe I'll go back out and flip off our Ring camera again because he likes to check it. He just drove off again. I reached out to a friend to talk to them about this. I need to finally be real with someone about all this and not shoulder it alone. My grandma died in March while I was holding her hand. I hope a little sliver of her strength is hiding in me somewhere, and that she gave me some of her strength when she left. She survived an abusive marriage and went on to have a beautiful life. God, please give me the strength to stay resolute. I buckled last time, and I don't want it this time. I deserve so much more than this. Please let me keep this spine I grew today, and let me grow an even bigger one. Additional information from OOP. OOP. I also pulled out my codependent no more workbook that I haven't touched in 6 years and started it last night. I'm going to take out why does he do that and finish the next chapter this weekend. My therapist has been awesome coaching me through all this. I have a standing appointment with her, and I am looking forward to her support next week. Relevant comments. OOP on contacting a lawyer. OOP. I contacted a law firm this morning and requested a consultation. The adrenaline from last night's fight has worn off, and now this is just fucking painful. OOP responds to multiple Redditors on taking care of herself first. OOP. I'm trying to. I have a feeling I'm just going to stay in bed all day. Now that this has sunk in, I'm just fucking depressed. He's ignoring me this morning like I did something wrong. I think I'm starting to see him for who he is. And I know in a day or two, he's going to be begging for forgiveness once this sinks into him and he calms down. Wonder if he's finally going to find the drive to push for couples counseling and suddenly try to be affectionate with me. Subscribe and like for more videos.